Because I know a lot of people in Michigan that are planning to vote for Trump, and they don't necessarily like him that much, and they don't necessarily agree with him. They're not racist and rednecks, they're actually pretty decent people. And so I wanted to sort of, after talking to a number of them, I wanted to write this. And Donald Trump came to the Detroit Economic Club and stood there in front of the Ford Motor executives and said, if you close these factories as you're planning to do in Detroit and build them in Mexico, I'm going to put a 35% tariff on those cars when you send them back, and nobody's going to buy them. It was an amazing thing to see. No politician, Republican or Democrat, had ever said anything like that to these executives. And it was music to the ears of people in Michigan and Ohio and Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, the Brexit states. You live here in Ohio, you know what I'm talking about. Whether Trump means it or not is kind of irrelevant, because he's saying the things to people who are hurting. And it's why every beaten down, nameless, forgotten working stiff who used to be part of what was called the middle class loves Trump. He is the human Molotov cocktail that they've been waiting for. The human hand grenade that they can legally throw into the system that stole their lives from them. And on November 8th, Election Day, although they lost their jobs, although they've been foreclosed on by the bank, next came the divorce, and now the wife and kids are gone, the car's been repoed, they haven't had a real vacation in years, they're stuck with the shitty Obamacare bronze plan where you can't even get a fucking Percocet. They've essentially lost everything they had, except one thing. The one thing that doesn't cost them a cent and is guaranteed to them by the American Constitution, the right to vote. They might be penniless, they might be homeless, they might be fucked over and fucked up. It doesn't matter, because it's equalized on that day. A millionaire has the same number of votes as the person without a job. One. And there's more of the former middle class than there are in the millionaire class. So on November 8th, the dispossessed will walk into the voting booth, be handed a ballot, close the curtain, and take that lever, or felt pen or touchscreen, and put a big fucking X in the box by the name of the man who has threatened to upend and overturn the very system that has ruined their lives. Donald J. Trump. They see that the elites who ruined their lives hate Trump. Corporate America hates Trump. Wall Street hates Trump. The career politicians hate Trump. The media hates Trump after they loved him and created him, and now hate him. Thank you, media. The enemy of my enemy is who I'm voting for on November 8th. Yes, on November 8th, you, Joe Blow, Steve Blow, Bob Blow, Billy Bob Blow, all the blows get to go and blow up the whole goddamn system because it's your right. Trump's election is going to be the biggest fuck you ever recorded in human history. And it will feel good.
blah, blah. Hello, hello. There we are. There's our voice. It's got to be something when I start, right? I was like, I was worrying so much because not last night's stream. I don't even know when I did that. What was that? Tuesday. The video wouldn't work. I was so focused on the video and then the audio didn't work. But it's working. So leave it where it is. All right. Whew, God. I always feel like I'm out of breath when I start my streams because I'm like running around under my desk trying to fix something on my computer because sound's not working. But we're still live. We're here. We are back with our Thursdays. I just want to be clear because I know I was like all over the place. I was streaming on Monday and I was streaming on this day, mostly canceling the streams. But we are back Thursdays, 10 p.m. Eastern. Tuesdays are going to be just the Cav Reacts, whatever it may be, Tom McDonald stuff, Sam said we do requests, drop them in the comments, hit me up on Truth or Getter or wherever it is. So that'll be exclusively on Tuesdays. I know the messaging has been so confusing because, you know, I just got back from West Virginia. I got sick, and then we were kind of canceled a couple of streams, and I was kind of like all over the place. But just to, you know, clarify everything, I know it was confusing, my messaging on social media and all, but Tuesdays are the reaction days. Thursdays will be the more news-related streams, headlines, whatever's going on. And then the weekends are tough for me, but if I am free, then I think we'll do more like, fun stuff like gaming. Maybe we'll do a bonus reaction stream or something like that. But I'll let you guys know about this weekend. We'll see. But tonight, God, I'm still out of breath from running. Tonight, we're going to be discussing the whole speakership. There's, the last time they did this, what was it? They won 15 rounds, 16 rounds because of Matt Gaetz not wanting to confirm Kevin McCarthy until he got a few things. It was record-breaking. And the name Trump was thrown around for the memes. You know, even Trump on True Social was memeing about it. You know, posted a couple hilarious memes about, you know, him being speaker. Matt Gaetz threw him a vote. It was a single vote for Trump for speaker. But, like, everybody knew, like, they weren't actually going to do it. It wasn't serious. It was kind of for funsies, for the memes. But this time, they were looking for a new speaker. They need a new speaker. And it looks like they're very heavily considering Trump. Actually considering him. Not a meme. Not a joke. They're not just having fun with it. I mean, sure, having a little bit of fun with it. I mean, just the idea is fun. The idea is hilarious. I think like the funniest thing about all of it, like, I mean, it would be great, obviously, because he can do so much good, like, legitimately. But there is a funny side to it, especially when he's, Biden's giving his State of the Union. Trump will be sitting behind him. There's a couple of images I'm just thinking of right now that I'm just like, oh my God, man. If not for anything but the memes, but just do it. But yeah, we do have some update on that fairly recently. Trump on speaker. Biden now hates brown people, apparently. Because he's building Trump's wall. The wall that he canceled. The wall that was already paid for, by the way. That's what a lot of people don't know. They're like, well, trying to defend Biden. They're like, well, they got to get funding. They got to do all that. And it was all paid for. It was all ready to go. They had the team and everything. I follow one of the guys who was working on the wall on Twitter, a great account. And he was saying their team was all ready to do it. Great jobs for them. The wall was all paid for. The wall was all built. They literally just had to put it up. That was it. Like, all the heavy lifting was done. Not literally, but you know what I mean. And Biden just said, don't put it up. Because that was the argument. Like, they were going to, you'd be like, all right, well, look, Biden had to get the funding. They still had to find a team. But there was none of that. It was all taken care of. 100% taken care of. They just had to, like, Trump, he's like, he just had to go to the beach. He just had to go to the beach. But it's kind of like a joke, not joke. He's serious. Like, if he just didn't do anything, the wall would have been built already. And over 500 miles has been built. It's crazy because at first it started out with, Trump didn't build enough of the wall. And then he's like, well, he didn't build the wall at all. You have DeSantis, sorry. They made that very clear. They actually put out a statement. Stop saying DeSantis. DeSantis. Put out an official statement for that. But DeSantis' team, some old washed up has-been, Ann Coulter, a bunch of other people who are, you know, some of DeSantis' biggest supporters are saying Trump didn't build anything. Like nothing. It didn't happen. You'd be like, well, they have to have some kind of reason for saying that. They can't just be outright lying. Of course, anybody can be outright lying, but what they're referring to is, so if there was like a stick in the ground, and I'm being literal here, like a little old piece of wood and then a string on it tied to another piece of wood or a rock or something, they would consider that a wall. Even if you could physically step over it, like that small of a thing, they would consider that a barrier. So when Trump built his wall over top of it, they didn't count that as a new wall. There's like, oh, well, he just reconstructed it. I'm like, there's a stick out of the ground with a rope tied to it. Like, I could literally jump over it. I could step over it. So, like, well, that doesn't count as a new wall. So that's what they, you know, it's all the, you know, gaslighting, what they say. And Trump built over 500 miles of it. And you got to understand, this was Trump fighting the left. Remember they sued him? They sued him several times. Paul Ryan, a lot of the other GOPers were trying to stop Trump from building the wall. Like, he had to deal with hell just to get what he got. Do you think anyone else would have dealt with that? That's the thing about DeSantis is he says, you know, look at all we've done in Florida. Look at this. Look at Florida is red all across the board. It has been for a while. It's even redder now. But DeSantis deals with little to no opposition. He can literally do whatever the hell he wants when he wants. How's he going to be when he's in Washington dealing with these you know, rhinos, dealing with the uniparty in general, the crazy leftists? Is he going to be able to deal with them? Is he going to be able to take them on? Because he never really had any kind of challenge. You know, and that's the thing. I don't think any other human being could do it other than Trump. You look at these photos from like Bush and Reagan and Obama, all these presidents, like from when they started to when they their last term in office, they look like they aged 100 years. Literally, they look awful. Like when you see even Barack Obama, like when you see him when his first year, and then when he's leaving, only 8 years later, and he looks like he aged 100 years. Because, you know, most stressful job, most people can't take it. And it shows in the pictures. Trump's the only one that looks exactly the same. He's built different. And that's the thing. Either for presidential, you can't just say, oh, I have some good ideas. It's like, well, it's not enough to just have some good ideas. I have some good ideas, I like to think, but I couldn't run for president. You either have that it factor, or you don't. You can't just have the good ideas. And that's what I see in DeSantis. He has good ideas, good governor. But he just doesn't have it. You know, when my personal approval rating of Ron DeSantis was at its highest, which I guess was probably like a year ago now, when I was probably thinking, you know, the most highly of him. And a buddy of mine who loves DeSantis, he said he'll still vote for Trump, but he's, you know, wants DeSantis to be the nominee. Back then, when it was like rumored that DeSantis might run, I said I don't think it's a good idea. He said why? My response was I don't think he's ready. And fast forward till now, that's what I'm seeing. He's clearly not ready. One of, if not the worst campaign I've ever seen in my life. And it has nothing to do whether you like him or don't, or you want him to be nominee or don't. It's objectively a bad campaign. Horrible. And it goes to Team DeSantis. It goes to his online influencers, which are the absolute worst. There's some Trump people I'm not super fond of either. I mean, anybody can be toxic, but I mean, holy smokes, are they just horrible on the internet. I usually don't mute or block people on Twitter. I just let whatever fly. You know, I always go at it with people, which is why I have so many warnings on my Instagram. But lately, I don't know if it's going to be getting older or what, or if they're getting more toxic or what. I've been muting and blocking so many people. Especially since I got back from West Virginia. I'm a changed man. Because we didn't have the internet service there. The Wi-Fi was horrible. It was horrendous. So I didn't even bother with social media. Just enjoyed the weekend. Well, it was more than a weekend. It was a couple days with my family and all that. And when I actually got home and I loaded up social media for the first time, it just it made me nauseous looking at it. I'm like, I did not miss this. This is horrible. It gets more toxic with every day. But yeah, now, so it's like, I started typing out a comment to somebody. I'm like, why bother? I don't know this person. I'll never meet them. They'll never meet me. I'm not even trying to sound insensitive, but they could die tomorrow. I would have no clue. I could die tomorrow and they would have no clue. Why am I wasting so much time? Just delete the comment and just click block. Like, I think that's a lot easier. It felt pretty good. So I went from not blocking anybody to having a huge block list now. But my point is, I'm kind of going away from my point. My point is their online influencers brought me from, look, I think DeSantis is great, but it's just not his time yet to I don't think I could stand him. The team, and DeSantis, we'll get to DeSantis himself because we can't just keep talking about the team and the influencers, but the influencers are just so nasty and toxic, like right off the bat. I'm like, oh, you support DeSantis? That's fine. All right. You think he'll save the country? I think it's Trump. You shake hands, you move on. No problem. But it was just instantly insulting Trump supporters. You guys aren't a cult. You support Trump, you should kill yourself. I'm like, why am I getting that sort of reaction? Relax. Jesus. Like, holy shit. I was totally fine with saying, hey, you support DeSantis? That's fine. Sure, maybe you support one of the other candidates? All right. That's what America's about. You can support whoever the hell you want. I don't care. You think they're better for the country? I think Trump is. All right. Agree to disagree. But it wasn't met with that. It was met with just anger and disdain and mockery. And I was just so confused there. I'm like, why? I couldn't even say anything. Nothing. Not even something remotely positive Trump. Or it's, you're in a cult. You're gay for Trump. You drink his blood. I'm like, or I just think he has the best chance at winning. I think he's the best for our country. That's why you just got to ignore this, because there's literally nothing you could say. You're always going to be, even if you slightly support Trump, like maybe you're not the biggest Trump fan, but you would vote for him, you're still going to be called a cult member. It doesn't matter. It's like how the left uses the word racism. They call everybody and everything racist. It doesn't matter. So the word kind of loses its meaning. Doesn't pack a punch like it should. I don't like influencers. Yeah, well, I mean, influencers nowadays, it's not even just like they're voicing their opinion, because that's all well and good, but they're always paid. They'll never admit it, but they are paid. Like I don't know who those two retards are that are like, they're young, maybe like 20, 21, maybe a little older than that, but they're all in for Biden. You guys probably know who I'm talking about. I think the one's like Harry something, his name. But they were like, oh, we're not paid. We just really like Biden. We're not paid. And then it was leaked that they were being paid. Yeah, we know you influencers being paid. You can't fool us. So yeah, we're gonna get into all that. I did kind of ran it for a little bit. We were going to talk about the gay Lord of the Rings thing. I don't know if we'll have time for that. Apparently, it needed to be said in a full article written about it that Sam and Frodo from Lord of the Rings are not gay. They're just really good friends. First, when I read that, I'm like, that really need to be said? But I'm like, actually, it probably did nowadays. Because everything's sexualized. There's no such thing as good buddies anymore. It's like every time I watch a show or something and I'm reading comments about it, it's always about sex immediately. Are they banging? They could be banging. I'm like, well, they're brothers. They probably shouldn't be banging. Does everything always have to be sex with you 24/7? So someone wrote a full article about the screenwriter and some other people behind the scenes confirming there was nothing sexual about it. Pretty much covered it right there, because it's really all needs to be said unless you want to go through the whole interview. Oh, so you know who I'm talking about, Scarlett. Yeah. Sorry, my throat is insanely dry. But when we head over to Rumble, I'll go grab some water because I'm running low. So anybody who's new to the stream, we do about, I'd say 30 to 40 minutes on YouTube. We cut the feed, then we go straight to Rumble. Why? Because I want to do everything I can to support Rumble. They've been good to me, pro free speech, especially with this Russell Brand stuff happening. YouTube, I've received, did I receive 7? I'm losing track now. At least 6 hard strikes. I think my 7th. Again, I'm losing track off the track. But clearly I'm not a huge streamer. And I'm already receiving 6 strikes, hard strikes on my channel. You know, you get 3 strikes within 90 days, you're completely... Oh, you keep it... Oh, there you go, 7, see? That's why I have Scarlet here. 7. 7 hard strikes. The last one was because, I think it was COVID misinformation, which originally, or not, but a few months ago, they said they were going to stop banning people for talking about vaccines and all that stuff. And then I guess they took it back. And I look through the video, like, because they'll give you a chance to appeal, so you can go through the video. I combed through the video. I don't even know what I said that was so damning. I did at one point say you should question vaccines. But that was it. I'm like, really? That was a hard strike worthy of a comment? So my point being, doesn't matter if you're a big streamer, small streamer, they're just trying to shut you down no matter who you are. So it's important to support. I am not monetized. I could be monetized on YouTube. I met the requirements, but I'm not sending in. I'm not sending in the form because I just don't feel like it. So I'll probably never be monetized on YouTube. And even if I did send in the form and they approved me, they would just probably demonetize me anyway. So point being, I'm not asking for any money. If you guys just like, subscribe, share. Maybe I didn't earn that yet, and I hope to down the way. But it does go a super long way. All my social medias are in the description below. At Patriotic_Cav on all socials. And I'm back on X. I'll give Elon a little bit of credit. He did reinstate my account. So I'm kind of running my mouth over there. I'm glad people are like saying X now instead of... oh, thanks for posting that, by the way, Scarlett. And yeah, they'll take down anybody. They don't care. What was I saying? Oh my God, I'm having a Joe Biden moment. X. I was saying something about X. Oh yeah, I'll give Elon a little bit of credit there because he did reinstate my account, and even though that's not what I wanted to say. Oh my God, I'm totally freaking blanking on what I was saying. Yeah, I was talking about X, but what was I saying? Now I'm just repeating myself. I'm having a Fetterman Biden moment here. All right, we'll come back to that. But I'm back on X. It was the main point anyway, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, we do about 30, 40 minutes here. We'll head over to Rumble only. Especially, like I mentioned Russell Brand real quick. Just go back to that. We're not going to talk about it tonight, but I did want to just say that it's crazy that you have, like, governments, U.S., UK, trying to take down Russell Brand, telling social media people demonetize him, take down his content, and everybody complied. Oh, sure, yeah, we'll take him down right away. Except for Rumble. Rumble's like, yeah, we're not doing that. You know, like, advertisers are threatening Rumble and all that. All based on, from what I heard, and anyone can correct me, but from what I heard, it is 2 cases of sexual misconduct. I don't know if they said rape. I thought they just said sexual misconduct that happened years and years ago. And it's hearsay. There's no evidence of it whatsoever. I know people like Megyn Kelly had a complete meltdown about it. How dare you say these women are lying? Well, first of all, I never said they were lying. I just said, why are we destroying a man's life based on hearsay? Because if you're going to do that, then I could go up to anybody and, you know, be like, oh, they did this thing 20 years ago. Where's your evidence? I don't have any. Oh, okay, yeah, we'll destroy his life then. It's like, what the hell is that? Innocent until proven guilty, I thought. So I'm not saying whoever's lying, if there's any truth to the story. But demonetizing him and destroying his livelihood just because somebody said something happened years ago. And there's already been plenty of false allegations, which is how Me Too got destroyed, because there's so many fake cases. One of the biggest ones being the, I think it was Duke lacrosse team. The girl accused them all of gang rape. It never happened. She eventually admitted it. But you think anybody knows that their record's clear now? Of course not. They only remember the initial remarks. Their lives are ruined forever. And why did she do it? I don't know. Wanted attention, wanted money. Like, you think women would lie? I think anybody would lie. I don't trust anybody, okay? I'm not in any camp. Trust the average man just as much as I trust the average woman, which is 0. 0%. I trust my family, and my God, that is it. Everything else, I question. Unless they have hard evidence. So. Oh. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. We are not doing a Cav Reacts. Ignore that. Trump considers trip to Capitol ahead of Speaker vote. President Trump is reportedly considering a trip to Congress ahead of next week's votes for next Speaker. House Speaker Trump confirmed on Wednesday that he had been approached. He's been approached about becoming the next Speaker. Speaking to reporters outside the courtroom, he said whatever's. But well, they have to hear his own words. Let the man speak.
A lot of people have been calling me about Speaker. All I can say is we'll do whatever's best for the country and for the Republican Party. Would you take a job? People. Would you take a say we have some great people. Would you take the job? A lot of people have asked me about it. I'm focused. You know, we're leading. I don't know you. I'm sure you don't read too much in the papers, but we're leading by like 50 points for president. You know, my focus is totally on that. If I can help them during the process, I would do it. But we have some great people in the Republican Party that could do.
If I can help them during the process, I would do it. He had another comment. I think it was on his Truth, wasn't it? I'm running for president, have a 62-point lead over Republicans. I love how he always has to mention that no matter what he says. Could be about like what he ate this morning. He's like, well, you know, I had a really good meal, but, you know, that's what happens when you're leading 62 points ahead. And I'm up on crooked Joe Biden. They said an ABC poll, Trump up by 10. Polls are in everything. I'm like, yeah, I never said they were everything. But, I mean, when you have a 62-point lead, I think that's at least a decent indication that, you know, you're going to do pretty well in the upcoming race. Despite the Democrat Party's massive lawfare, weaponization, and election interference by 4 to 11 points. It's true. And we'll get to that a little bit later. We'll do whatever is necessary to help with the Speaker of the House selection process short term until the final selection of a great Republican Speaker is made. A Speaker who will help a new but highly experienced president make America great again. I just love the way he words things. But right there, short term, he specifically specifies I'll do what is necessary short term, saying like some people were saying a few months, like I think that, you know, 6 months, 7 months. I think MTG said 11 months. I don't know. I don't know how that works exactly. Why they're throwing out these random numbers, but just having them just for a little bit would be just amazing. I mean, yes, all the great work and all that. Just think of the memes. Here's a more concrete. Actually, this is a more concrete statement that Trump made. Trump would accept House speakership for a short period while Republicans decide on permanent leader. Trump told Fox News Digital that he would accept a short-term role as Speaker of the House to serve as a unifier for the Republican Party until lawmakers reach a decision on who should take the post. Kevin McCarthy was removed as Speaker, first time ever in history, which is hilarious, by Matt Gaetz. Introduced a measure against him. Yeah, motion to vacate. This is Trump. I have been asked to speak as a unifier because I have so many friends in Congress. If they don't get the vote, they have asked me if I would consider taking the speakership until they get someone longer term because I'm running for president. They have asked me if I would take it for a short period of time for the party until they come to a conclusion. I'm not doing it because I want to. I will do it if necessary, should they not be able to make their decision, Trump said. Trump did not specify who asked him, although a number of GOP lawmakers have said he is their preference for speaker. Most likely he's talking to MTG, Matt Gaetz, drawing a blank on her name. I was going to say Luna Lovegood. That's from Harry Potter. And upon Luna said her number one choice was Trump. So I'm sure they're all talking. Trump stresses Republicans can't come to a consensus. He would take the speakership for a short 30, 60, or 90-day period. That's a lot shorter than MTG said, but that would be great. He could do a lot of good in just a few days. I just really hope it happens. I would only do it for the party, he said, stressing that he's focused on his presidential campaign, which he really can't even do right now because he's stuck in the courtroom. With I'm getting them confused right now because there's so many AGs involved. Letitia James, I think it is. The crazy B word. It's clearly political. She says it's not, but... So there you have it. That is Trump saying himself that he'll do it. So unless they... Because, Jim Jordan and Scalise, who I'm not the biggest fan of, threw a hat in the ring. And unless they, immediately right off the bat have a unanimous decision, we could see Trump as Speaker of the House. I just imagine the meltdown of just everyone on the left, the political commentators, social media, the politicians in the House. Oh my God, I would give anything to see that. This is a new clip. I think it's what we just saw. Yeah, it is what we just saw. So I don't know, 30, 60, or 90 day is what Trump said. Again, he could get a lot done in just that. Stuff with committees, stop funding for Ukraine, get that border going, border wall, I should say, which we'll talk about in a second. Up. I think I just lost feed. Something's happening. FBI, they're trying to take me down. What is going on? Yeah, blinking a little bit. I don't know if you guys saw that. FBI, man. I gotta watch joking about that because now they, are going after people for memes. They're going after people for pretty much anything. Speaking of, we'll jump to this real quick before we head over to Rumble. It's a good segue. The FBI is monitoring MAGA supporters in the run-up to 2024. The FBI is weaponizing its resources to monitor supporters of Trump, even creating a distinct category, domestic violent terrorist, to target MAGA loyalists based on their political views. Have you ever seen anything like this? Any supporters for any candidate in history? The FBI is creating a special category just to hunt these people down, which would include me. After January 6th, FBI changed its definition of anti-government, anti-authority, violent extremism. known as agave, from the attempt of further, ideological agendas, blah, blah, blah. They're going to label Trump supporters as terrorists. The FBI then went further by creating agave. Other to target those considered a threat but did not fall within the definition of anarchy. This is insane. Gotta watch what we say now, boys. Because how do they... if they can throw a grandma... I always use that case because it's the most insane one to me. A 77-year-old grandmother, or however old she was, invited into the Capitol. Took a picture, apparently a selfie, and left. A couple of minutes. And they threw her in jail for quite a long time. At most of what they're getting them on is disrupting a hearing, a congressional hearing, which is thanks to George Bush, put that into law. So anyone disrupting anything going on in the House gets some massive jail time. Another golden star for George Bush. The definition is so broad that a senior intelligence officer at the Office of the Director of National Intelligence said they were unsure whether it applied to a few thousand Proud Boys or 30% of the country's electoral. I don't know the answer, and I can assure you the answer isn't in any... See, like, they don't even know themselves. They have no clue, so it's so broad. Because, like, how do they decide what it's like hate speech? They make it up. Who decides that? They decide if it's bad enough, it's hate speech. If they're offended enough. This is what they're doing with this. Violent extremism. Like arresting that priest, Catholic priest they're after. This is stuff. We're not getting too much in January 6th tonight, but I just want to read that real quick. I'll say stay safe out there. It is not safe for really anyone who's... They don't even have to be full-blown MAGA, just slightly right of center. Specifically if you support Trump. Oh. Did I shut off again? Something's happening. Oh, my end is blinking. Like I can't right now. I can't see my preview monitor, so I have no clue what's going on. This is odd. I don't know what's going on here. I am still live. Yeah, I can see your comments on YouTube. I just can't see my preview screen. I don't know if that's blinking for you or what. Well, maybe, I mean, we're over the time mark anyway, 40 minutes. So maybe when we head over to Rumble, I'll try to figure this out real quick. All right, we're going to head over to Rumble right now. Everybody watching on YouTube, thank you. I appreciate it. Consider hitting that like button, subscribe button. It goes a long way. I do appreciate it. And we're going to head over to Rumble. So link is in the description, I think. It should be. Let me... there, pinned message. There you go. Rumble time. I'll see you guys over there, and I'll figure out what the hell is going on with my monitors right now. I can't see crap. Again, we'll figure it out. See you guys over there. Rumble time. Rumble, rumble.
Oh, say, can you see
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.